Hello everyone, welcome to the next video in my series about cryptocurrency investment. If you have not watched the previous episodes, I highly recommend that you watch some of the previous episodes so you get an idea of what I'm saying and how I've been explaining about the crypto investing in this video series. The playlist is in my channel. You can go and find it in the English series for crypto investment. I've done it in Tamil as well, and this is the English version of it. So today we're going to be talking about an exchange called BITRUE, where you get daily interest for holding your crypto, just holding your crypto out there. There is no deposit lock-in periods like 30 days or there is a deposit version, but a lot of cryptos, basically you just hold it on a daily basis and you get interest on a daily basis. And you can withdraw it anytime. There is no lock-in periods for most of those cryptos. And you can get as high as 7.3% in some of the cryptos. If you lock it in for 30 days, you get even 15-16% interest. And this is like a passive income or a daily interest that you can get out of crypto. That generally when people buy crypto, they hold it for at least a few months or a year for the crypto to become really high in value or increase in value multiple times. During that period, instead of letting that crypto sit idle, you can just put it into an exchange like BITRUE, which is trusted and generates high interest. I'll show you my example where I'm earning like nearly about $800-900 just in interest alone in a year, just by holding my crypto in BITRUE instead of another exchange. And I'll also explain why BITRUE, why some of the other exchanges potentially offer a little bit higher, but why BITRUE is safer comparatively compared to the other exchanges. But before that, one thing that I wanted to explain about is the currency called ZAP, or cryptocurrency called ZAP. When I started my video episode 1, I spoke highly about ZAP, and in my episode 2, I also explained how in my portfolio, ZAP is sitting in my top 2 in terms of the money that I've invested in cryptos from a portfolio perspective. And let's see what ZAP did in the last 2 days. So ZAP, incidentally, in the last 2 days, we are on the 5th of November, and on 3rd of November, it was roughly around 3 rupees 50 paise. And you can actually go to COINStats and you can see what the value was. Like for the last 2 or 3 weeks, it was hovering around the 3 rupees 50 paise mark. And suddenly in the last couple of days, it has jumped up to nearly about 6 rupees 65 paise. And right now it is sitting at 5 rupees 38 paise. So if you put that into perspective, the jump in 2 days is roughly around 90%. Now, when obviously a lot of cryptos have done well in the last couple of days, but after the last week's bloodbath, but ZAP has jumped nearly 90% as compared to many of the cryptos, even Bitcoin for that matter, where it's jumped like 10-15%. That's the kind of potential that I was talking about in my episode 1 and episode 2, where there is a potential to increase. So you put 10,000 rupees into Bitcoin, you would have probably got 12,000 rupees because of the Bitcoin's price increase. But you put 10,000 rupees into ZAP, you would have got like 19,000 rupees in a couple of days' time. Obviously, now I'm giving you the best case scenario. But even if you take the rough scenario where I published the video on like the first week of October, and if you had bought it anywhere in the last 2 weeks, the average price of ZAP was around roughly about 4 rupees or 4 rupees 20. And today, after the 6 rupees 65, it has come down a little bit, but it's still sitting at around roughly 5 rupees 40 paise, and that's an increase of about 35%. So even with that, if you had invested 10,000 rupees in any of the last 2 weeks, you would probably be getting around roughly about 13,400 rupees today, which is 35% jump in 2 weeks, which is a decent return of investment for any investment anywhere for that matter, and in a span of 2 or 3 weeks. And that's the kind of potential that we spoke about when we spoke about ZAP and Link in my episode 1 and 2. And that's what I've been advising, or that's what I've been saying as my personal investment. I'm not a investment advisor. I'm not advising people to go and buy the crypto. I just explain my rationale of why I buy these cryptos and explain, why it could go higher. And that's a good example of, what happened to ZAP is a good example of what could happen to the other cryptos. So first thing is, how do exchanges give interest, right? There are a lot of technical reasons like, proof of stake versus proof of work, the modern day mining techniques, yield farming, crypto-backed loans, which is like using crypto as a collateral to give you loans. And BITRUE has all of these 3 products visible on their website, which are actually good products for giving interest. They earn interest, or they earn money out of it, like how banks take our money and they do investments like home loans or mortgages, personal loans, they get interest, they get revenue, and they share a bit of revenue. But in UK and Europe, the sharing of revenue for banks is very less. Like if you keep £10,000 in a year in UK bank account, you get probably like 5 or 10 pounds in the whole year. So the interest rates are very low, which is why the BITRUE interest is more appealing, because they are able to give like 7 or 8%, because they are able to earn more using the products that are supporting crypto from an interest or revenue perspective. And these are good products where it's clear that they are able to earn revenue out of it, and it's also a marketing strategy. While these are all good, there are a few exchanges which probably give like as much as BITRUE gives, but a lot of exchanges these days are participating in shorting. Shorting is a technique where they use our crypto, they give us an interest, but they're actually using the crypto to do shorting, reduce the price of the crypto, and thereby they're earning money out of it. I explained it in derivatives video, what is shorting and what are these techniques which are causing crypto prices to crash, or any price to crash for that matter. And you really don't want to give your crypto to an exchange which is actually going to reduce the base price of the crypto, then you lose out in the end. And there are a lot of bogus exchanges as well. You don't know where they're keeping our funds. One, they could be attacked, and two, they could be taking our funds and running away, and we have no visibility of it. And what BITRUE has done is, they have on their website, they have something called as how they're keeping our funds safe, and in that there is a link where they show us what is their cold wallet status. They have actually kept most of the funds in an XRP cold wallet, which is multi-signature enabled. And technically what means is that this is visible to everyone. Like in layman's terms, to give an example, basically this is like a bank keeping all their money, instead of keeping it in a safe which is hidden away, and if it gets attacked, we don't know. Imagine the bank is keeping the safe in, it's a glass safe, and that is visible to everyone. It's kept in a glass building, and the glass is fully bulletproof, and everybody in the road can see it. You don't need just the security team to monitor it. Anybody working on the road can actually see it. Even though you can see the money, it's still safe. And what can be more secure than everybody is able to monitor and see it on a real-time basis, right? That's what they've done. And that's I think that's one of the very few exchanges that have actually attempted to keep their money in a cold wallet visible to the whole world, and which is the good thing about BITRUE, I would say. Another thing, again, this is not a paid video. This is basically because I've moved most of my funds to BITRUE because I liked it, and that's why I'm making this video. This is not an endorsement, or this is not a paid marketing video from BITRUE. And it's registered in Singapore, which is again in a very reputed country and a reputed institution that they've tied up in Singapore as well. And from what I've seen, obviously people make a mistake of not validating their mobile numbers. But once you validate your mobile number and email, there is a mobile alert, there is an email alert. There's probably multiple alerts for every login, every transaction that you make. It's probably the highest security that I've seen in all of the exchanges that I have actually seen so far. So they have varying interest for nearly about 25 different cryptocurrencies, and some of the cryptocurrencies, the interest that they're giving are like very high compared to the other exchanges, I would say. For example, Link and Zap, I don't think there is any other exchange that even comes close to giving that much of an interest without offering the products that they're offering from their portfolio. So there are still a few cryptos missing, like for example, cryptos that I've invested in that I would like to see, like Storj, LRC, Data, and Engine Coin. And probably, if there is a wish list, I would probably add this to the wish list to say that, and I would like to see them. But regardless, because of that, I've not moved those cryptos to BITRUE. But for everything else, I've pretty much moved more than 90% of my cryptos to BITRUE because of the high interest. And I'll show you an example of how much I am getting. So this is just a top 5 that I've listed out just to give you a demonstration, example of what I'm getting, and I'll show you in screen as well all of these cryptos, how much I'm getting on a daily basis. So these are the cryptos, varying interest rates. Obviously the interest rates that I'm getting is a little bit high because there is an offer where you keep the cryptos in you keep a certain value in BITRUE, which enables you to earn higher interest rate. I'll show you a demo of that. But overall, this is what I'm getting on a daily basis and a monthly basis for my crypto. So Link, obviously I'm getting a bit more because most of my investment is in Link, and eventually I'm getting about $2.15 on a $2.15 on a daily basis. So it's roughly equating to about $66 monthly and $800 yearly, which is in Indian rupees, it's about 60,000 rupees yearly as an interest alone. So this is completely passive income. This is on top of this is on top of the price increase. Like for example, I get the value of the crypto in crypto itself, and if the price increases, like for example, Zap's done 90%, then the value of the interest that I've got is also done 90%, because I've got the interest in Zap, which means that the price increase of 90% also has increased the interest on top of it as well. So it's basically a double interest, I would say. One is the interest itself, another is the price increase that inflates it even more, which means that potentially I'm getting more than $800 or more than 60,000 rupees if the price increases. And I'll explain this in the demo as well. What they are basically saying is that they offer a base interest rate, and they offer you to take it up about to a 2% higher, like from 5.26% to 7.26% in tiered slabs, where if you hold the BTR cryptocurrency, which is their own cryptocurrency, they are offering you the ability to increase your interest rate to 7.26% from 5.26%. I'm giving you this as an example, but in many currencies, like TRX as an example, but even in Bitcoin for that matter, they are able to give you a higher interest rate if you hold the cryptocurrency. This is to promote their own ecosystem and their own cryptocurrency. So I hold BTR cryptocurrency, where I was able to take it from 5.26% to 7.26%. Again, this is just a rough calculation. Once you start investing in or in putting your funds into BITRUE, you will know how much BTR you need to hold to take it to the next slab or to take it to the highest interest rate. So another thing is, if you're worried about the stability of cryptocurrencies, like I said, it's highly volatile. I don't want to invest in Bitcoin. I don't want to invest in Link or Zap, which is going up and down. But I still like the interest future, because I get, like I said, I get 1% in UK or in Europe for that matter. So I could potentially put it in a stable coin like USDT, for example, which is always tethered to $1, which is practically investing it in a bank account, which is dollar account, right? So I could put it in USDT cryptocurrency, and that could give me 16% interest rate for a 30-day lockup period, just by holding additional BITRUE currency on top of it, which roughly equates to about 15.21%, which means that if I put $13,200 in my investment, in a year I get $2,000 interest. Whereas if I had kept it in a bank account, I would have got hardly about $50 interest in UK or in Europe, where the interest rates are very low from bank's perspective. The key points to consider, the main thing to consider is a lot of people make the mistake of not validating their mobile number and verifying their identity, because in BITRUE, unlike the other exchanges like in WazirX, for example, or in crypto.com, for example, you need to validate your mobile number and identity. Without validating your identity, they won't even allow you to proceed. BITRUE allows you to proceed, allows you to deposit, allows you to get interest, but they have the mobile number and identity verification as optional, and it's a little bit tricky. Identity verification, takes a few clicks, because once you upload, it says that the file is not uploaded, but if you click on continue a couple of times, it actually continues. Sometimes the image size is a bit higher and you need to reduce it. But if you validate your mobile number and verify your identity, then you get a lot more advantages with like increased withdrawal options, quicker withdrawal options. Whereas if you don't do it initially because it's optional, a lot of people miss it. And when it comes to withdrawal, you might find that their withdrawals are a bit limited. So it's always better to do the validation of mobile number and identity verification upfront, like WazirX have done. I would have been happier if they had done it as mandatory instead of keeping it optional. But they are actually keeping it optional, where you can start transacting it and you can handle the verification process in parallel. Whereas WazirX, it takes a couple of days before the verification happens and before you can start trading. Again, PIGGY is very, very flexible in terms of the main staking feature. You can withdraw it like in a couple of minutes. You can deposit. If you feel like you made a mistake, you can withdraw it the next minute. There is no locking in period where you feel like, okay, I made a mistake. I can't take it out for a month now. So, or like 6 months in CRO for that matter. So there is no locking in period. You can deposit and you can actually withdraw it in like a couple of minutes. I'll show you the demo as well. There are two types of allowances. It's not like everybody can deposit anytime. There is an allowance, there is a quota system in place, and I explain the quota system in my next slide. But the quota system is like, the community cap and the VIP cap is basically making sure that there is not too much people depositing too much money, and it's like, there is a limited quota available, and it is guaranteeing to make sure that you're getting a best out of it, because there is only limited people who are able to make use of it. Some of the cryptos like Bitcoin or Zap, the Bitcoin, for example, is you're able to deposit easier because the quota is there is enough quota for everyone. But some cryptos like Zap are in high demand, where even after like 3 or 4 days of trying, it was really difficult for me to make use of the quota, and I needed to get the VIP cap done to go and deposit it, or I need to wait for that minute. I'll show you a demo as when the quota allowance opens or the deposit allowance opens, and how you can wait for the timer and you can deposit immediately. So in community caps, it is released every 12 hours. So, like they release like 100,000 Zap, for example, and then as and when people start putting it in, it gets reduced. And it is every 12 hours, new quota is released. But it's a first come, first serve quota. And when everyone has deposited the full quota, it is gone and you can't deposit more money, but you can withdraw it at any time. And some of the cryptos like Zap or XRP for that matter, they are very, very popular, and they are used up very quickly. Like within like 30 seconds, it is completely used up. Some cryptos like Bitcoin and Link, they are open for a few minutes or even a few hours for that matter, a couple of hours. Bitcoin, the quota is still available, or Link quota is available. So I'll show you a demo, but I would recommend that you wait for the countdown timer like 10 minutes before or 5 minutes before the countdown, the 12-hour window is reached. You go log in, wait for it, and then you deposit it. I'm going to actually show you a demo of how I do it. And VIP cap is basically if you hold the BITRUE own currency BTR, then you get a special quota called VIP quota, which is released every week, and that allows you to like not compete with us, like a separate queue for you, like a priority queue for you and a priority limits for you, where you get increased limits, and it's easier to deposit some of the high demand currencies like Zap for that matter, where it's you're not able to get it in the community quota, you can get it in the VIP cap. So I'll explain that also with an example. So we're going to, even though we've done the new user registration demo in episode 4, I'll do it again. You can find the link in my description for the BITRUE. So this is again a referral link. So if you click on it, there will be a claim now option. Click on the claim now, and there will be an email verification code that you need to click on send. So here they validate your email first before you can sign up. In other registrations, they validate it later. Here they validate it upfront, and then you can choose your password and sign in. Once you've signed in, they will also send you an email saying welcome, and there'll be a safety code in there. So if you go to my info, you can actually find that email safety code, and you need to make sure that any email from there has the safety code, which validates it even more or provides additional security. If you click on security, you will find that most of the authentications are not done, and this is a common mistake that most people make. So I highly recommend that you enable your Google multi-factor authentication. I've explained about Google Authenticators, basically like a VPN token where a 6-digit token is generated randomly. So download the Google Authenticator app on your mobile phone and then scan the QR code here. And once you scan it, the Google Authenticator and your app is now binded, or your login is now binded. And every time you log in, it will ask you for the 6-digit Google Authenticator code from your mobile phone. Once you do that, then you authenticate your mobile number. And mobile number is again very simple. It will just send you an SMS and you can authenticate it. And once you've authenticated it, create a 6-digit PIN code, because it requires a PIN code every time you do a transaction. So there is multi-levels of authentication that you can enable, and I highly recommend that you enable it. And also do your ID verification. Again, this is optional, but if you get it done, it just takes like a few minutes to do the authentication or the ID verification, but it takes like maybe 1 day to get the ID verification complete. Till that point, it will be in a verifying status. Now, if I go to my assets, you can actually buy using your credit card or debit card, Visa debit card or Visa MasterCard, Visa debit card or MasterCard using your directly in BITRUE, but there is a 3.5% or $10 USD higher fees that is available, that is there on the credit card charges. And I showed you how in WazirX or in COINBASE you can probably do it a little bit cheaper instead of using the 3.5%. I'm going to show you a demo of how you can buy it in WazirX or any other Indian wallet, and you can transfer it to BITRUE and keep it in BITRUE. So any crypto that you buy in WazirX, you can transfer it to BITRUE and keep it in BITRUE. I'm going to show you an example of that. So I search for TRX in my asset list, and then I get a deposit option. So when you go to the deposit, and click on the deposit, you get a TRX deposit address. Now I go to WazirX, and I'm going to buy TRX using my rupees in WazirX first. So if you already have TRX, if you already bought it in WazirX, then you don't need to do this process. You can skip this process. But I've already shown in my episode 3 a complete demo of WazirX. So I go to the exchange and I say lowest price for my TRX, and I'm going to buy 5,000 rupees worth of TRX, Tron currency. Tron is one of the famous currencies. I've explained it in one of my videos as well, how Justin's son has created a currency called Tron currency. So TRX is what we're going to use for this demo for WazirX to BITRUE. So I click on withdraw option, and then I'm going to go to BITRUE, copy my destination address from BITRUE. So I'm going to send from WazirX to BITRUE. So I copy the destination address from BITRUE and come to WazirX and put the destination address. Put any remark, you can just say BITRUE also. You don't need to say anything, but I'm just going to say on BITRUE here and then proceed with my withdrawal. And I complete the authentication using my Authy app or my Google Authenticator app, and there is also an approval email. Once I do it in 3 or 4 minutes, it comes into my BITRUE account, and I can now see the Tron currency that I have transferred has come from my WazirX to my BITRUE. Now I'm going to show you an example of how to transfer from COINBASE, and for the COINBASE transfer, I'm going to use XRP. So any currency you can transfer. I prefer using currencies like XRP because the transfer rate or the transfer fees is very, very low. So first I'm going to, if I don't have XRP, I can convert it from a different currency. So here I'm going to actually convert it from Atom. I have a few atoms, Cosmos is the name of the cryptocurrency. I'm going to convert it to my XRP. So I get about 125 XRP, which is roughly about 24 pounds worth of XRP. So I click on convert, and my conversion is now done. Now I have XRP in my COINBASE account. So now I'm going to convert or transfer XRP from my COINBASE account to my BITRUE account. And for XRP, I've already shown in multiple examples where there are two addresses. One is a destination address and there is a destination tag as well. So I'm going to copy my destination address first, put it here, and then go back to BITRUE, copy my destination tag and come back to COINBASE, and I'm going to use both the addresses. If you miss out one of the addresses, if you miss out the destination tag, then it won't come through to your account. So make sure that if you're transferring XRP, you need to put both the addresses, the address and the destination tag. Notice how the fees is 0 here. The COINBASE fees is 0. The network fees is also 0. This is one of the reasons why I normally use XRP as the currency. I convert it into XRP and then transfer it from one wallet to another wallet or exchange to another wallet. This again is very fast and comes through in a couple of minutes. It comes to BITRUE. Now I have both Tron and XRP in my wallet accounts. Now I'm going to wait for the community cap to deposit into the Power Piggy, and I'm going to show you both XRP and TRX. So now I've waited for the countdown timer, and this is roughly about 13 minutes remaining that I'm actually there in the app and I've logged in. So I recommend at least 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before you log in. Make sure you keep it in your watch and you log in, and you make sure there is a timer running on your screen. So notice how there is a minimum requirement to join. There's 100 TRX and 100 XRP. So make sure you also understand the minimum requirement. So you don't want to just bring in 50 TRX or 50 XRP and try to deposit it when it won't allow you, because there is a minimum requirement that is there. So roughly around 2,000 rupees, I think, is the minimum requirement for most of the cryptocurrencies. So the deposit has been, the deposit limits has been, quota limits has been released, and I'm going to invest XRP into it. And when I go back to my Power Piggy, you will notice that I did it in like less than 10 seconds. I did the XRP. As soon as I go out, you can see how most of the cryptos are going to be sold out already. And I'm now going to go to TRX and I'm going to deposit TRX also into it. So first I did my XRP because, like I said, XRP is a currency that goes pretty quickly. So make sure that you put your highest investment first, and then you can do the rest of the investments if you have it. Or you can do it later. Next day also you can do it. You don't need to do all at the same time. Now, if I go to my Power Piggy, the homepage again, you can see that, literally in like less than a minute, I've just put it in like less than a minute, I've deposited both. XRP is sold out, VET is sold out, and the rest of the currencies, some of the currencies like BTC, for example, they still have remaining amounts. And TRX today, it is actually remaining. But, a lot of times these altcoins are very, very in demand, and they are sold out pretty quickly. Like Zap, for example, every time I tried, it was sold out in like less than a couple of seconds. It was sold out, and I was not able to deposit into it. Now I'm going to show you my main account, where this is a demo account where I don't have BTR for that matter. In my main account, I'm going to show you an example where I'm able to easily deposit without this community cap limit, because I have a VIP cap limit. So the VIP cap limit, like I said, is updated every week, and because I'm holding BITRUE, I get a special quota, which means that even though the XRP is sold out on the normal community cap, I can actually deposit it. I can put in the XRP using the VIP cap at any point of time, and I can also withdraw it. Like, I've deposited it like a minute back. Now, if I want to withdraw it, I can click on unfreeze, and I can either withdraw part of it or I can withdraw the whole amount as well. So you can withdraw even like 1 or 2 XRP out of it if you want. You can do it half, full, or whatever amount you want to withdraw. You can withdraw it. So this is my main account, and I'm also showing you how the interest rate is higher in that. So like I said, right, Link, for example, I'm getting 7.3%. So this is the example where I've got roughly around 544 Link in my account, and I get 0.1 Link, which means that every 10 days I get 1 Link extra. And in total, I've got about 3 Link in the last 30 days or 25 days that I have. And TRX, for example, I've increased it from 5.48% to 7.26%, which means I get roughly about 2 TRX every day, and total rewards that I got in the last 15 days is 30 TRX. So hopefully this video was useful to you. If you have any comments, please post it in the comment section and I'll try and answer it. Thank you. Bye.